people. Ugh. So, my wife told me to stop being a callow man-child and to show myself, so blah. Shame is just a construct, right? Okay, dogs. Anyway, this is just clickbait nonsense. I think nobody cares what I think, but I just wanted to blast some of the things that I really liked past you. I already started with a bunch of stuff the other day, and now I'm just gonna go top speed. Alice in Chains' Dirt, Band of Susan's Love Agenda, David Bowie's Outside, Danzig, first one. Again, all of these, obviously Bowie, you need most of his records. Again, compilation things are a good place to start. Forget about records. You know what? Whatever. However you can listen to stuff. Downs, Nola, very good. Fetus, Gash, Sony, 95. I've worked backwards, forwards, backwards for, dirtier stuff, forwards for cleaner stuff. You know what I mean? Production-wise. Fugazi and On the Kill Taker. What's that, 92, 93? Anyway, I would work backwards, obviously. The one after this is good, too, but the ones earlier, Repeater, plus 3 songs, very good. Godflesh, if you like this, you get all of them. Crushing, Wall of Noise. GNR, Appetite for Destruction, fabulous. Helmet, Meantime. I would say a lot of bands around this ball period had a good 3 records like Strap It On, Meantime, and Betty. To me, this is the best. Hits right in the middle, whereas Betty's a little cleaner production-wise. Strap It On's a little punkier, dirtier. Jesus Lizard Show. Again, sort of a best-of live album. I don't know why I said again. Killing Joke. They're all great. I would start with the first record, too. This is Pandemonium from, I think, 94? After U3 joined. KMFDM Nile. Again, a lot of their records are great. This is the one that started me off. I would say Angst is another great one. I think that came out before this. The record before this, then Naive, which was before this. But again, after this, with Extort and Symbols, it's all good. Talking about Last Exit. I like Miles Davis's late 60s, 70s fusion stuff, but a lot of fusiony stuff I don't like, whereas this was 80s free jazz, noise rock sort of thing, and that's great. This is 87. All this stuff was recorded live. Fabulous. Another great band, 88, Living Color, Vivid, terrific. Their next one, Time's Up, and Stain. This is really, I think, they're one of those bands that instead of having like a middle one that's really good, a punky one earlier and a cleaner one later, they had 3 that really built off of each other, sort of like Rage did in the 90s. This was 93, beginning of 93. I think this came out, and it's just really crushing. I mean, it's good. It's a very good record. Living Colors, first one, obviously very good. Love and Rockets, Hot Trip to Heaven, obviously Bauhaus, Daniel Ash, great stuff, Tones on Tail. The first Love and Rockets song was off the first, that I knew, was the first one off the first record. What the hell is it called? So Alive. But this record is the first one I really listened to. It's very good. Megadeth, first one I got, Rust in Peace. What was this, 90? 90. Holy Wars, all the songs, great. Obviously Megadeth, to go back a couple of years, back and forward, the Marty Friedman years are great. Chris Poland's great. Metallica, first one I listened to probably was Master Puppets, Battery, Master Puppets, Thing That Shouldn't Be. Sanitarium was probably the one that really got me this first time around. And then the back half, Disposable Heroes, Leper Messiah, Orion, Damage. Orion was great. One that I always go back to a lot, first one, Kill 'Em All. I listen to that a lot. Also, the Black Album. Metallica. Metallica. It's like talking about GNR. Ministry. Mine is terrible thing to taste. This is the one that got me into them. Starting off with Thieves, Blessing all the way through. Again, the one before, Land of Rape and Honey, really changed a lot of things. The one after, everyone knows, Psalm 69. Minor Threat, complete discography. So you have, I don't know what their vinyl situation is, but on CD you get the whole damn thing. And it's great. This came out in 89, all of their stuff. Lyle Presler, fabulous, underrated guitar player. Got a great tone and great songs. Ian MacKaye. I don't know how to pronounce people's names. I've been pronouncing Kim from Soundgarden's name wrong. I've been pronouncing Josh from Caius and Queens of the Stone Age's last name wrong. Misfits, Danzig, Danzig's first band. This is Collection 1, Collection 2. These obviously are a great place to start, you know, but it's worth getting literally everything Misfits put out with Danzig. Not the stuff post Danzig, no disrespect to their space. Another great band, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult. This one is, what's this called? 13 Above the Night. This was the first one I listened to, 93. And obviously go back, Daisy Chain for Satan, all that stuff is great. The one after this, Reincarnation of Luna is very good. Was that after? One after? Whatever. They're very good. Great sort of dance, rock, very evil. Speaking of dance rock sort of thing, Nine Inch Nails' Pretty Hate Machine. First one I got was, I guess I got it in 91. It came out in 90, no, it came out in 89. Is that right? Maybe it did come out in 89. But I'm pretty sure I got it in 91. Head Like a Hole, I guess, was the first one I heard. And then, you know, Ring Finger, probably, and Something I Could Never Have. I listened to those a lot when I was old. But anyway, as far as playing guitar goes, Broken, when that came out, I was really happy because it was very guitar-centric and harder. Awesome, you know, Nine Inch Nails. It's hard to find a bad record. Pantera, another big influence. This one, I don't know. I think I got Vulgar Display of Power and Cowboys from Hell at the same time. Somebody made a copy of them for me. On cassette, of course. 92, Cowboys was 90. This is just, you know, brutal from beginning to end. Again, tones on... This is sort of one of those things where the first one is a little thin production-wise. Cowboys from Hell. Songwriting is mainly very good. Primal Concrete, Sledge, and Domination. Oh yeah, that's good. Cowboys from Hell. The production on this is great, and the one after this, Far Beyond Driven. I got that on vinyl. I bought that new on vinyl with the, you know, not the, what's the one? Well, it's a, you know, drill going in the back door. Anywho, Primus. I really big fan of Primus. First one I got was Seas of Cheese. On cassette, of course. My parents only got a CD player in 93, so I had everything on cassette. And of course, you know, they wouldn't, you really, for a while there, you couldn't find vinyl, you know, until, like, again, 94, no, I don't know. Where I lived, you know, suburban New York, you could go to the city and get stuff, but blah, blah, blah. Seas of Cheese, probably the most accessible, most successful, I don't know. Who the hell knows? Obviously, was it Punch Bowl had been known as Big Baron Braver, so that was pretty successful, obviously. But this is just a collection of great songs. I got this, and then I got the first one on cassette, what do you call it? Suck on This, the live one. They, you know, did that, maxed out their credit cards to make that happen. And then their first studio album, Frizzle Fry, and again, a little punkier, more straight ahead than the one after this, Pork Soda. Really brutal. I keep saying brutal. Brutal's the song. Brutal's the word of the hour. Prong. Cleansing. The one after this is sort of like, just like, you know, Metallica had Load and then Reload. It was sort of like part two of this. Not as good as this, but all the ones before this are definitely worth getting. Prong really did a lot of great stuff as far as combining, you know, industrial and metal and punk, and really good stuff. Probably the first rap record that made a big difference to me. This is Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. Public Enemy, obviously. Everything on here is great. Seriously. And of course, She Watched Channel Zero, one of the famous Slayer samples. This, and also KMFDM had Godlike on. Is that on Naive? Yeah, it's on Naive. And it's a sample of the breakdown in Angel of Death by Slayer. Quicksand, another great New York band of the early 90s. Sort of came from the post-hardcore, came from the hardcore scene. This was more of a post-hardcore thing with Walter was in, what the hell was he in? Youth Today or Gorilla Biscuits? My memory is, I'm old. Anybody else feeling old? Jesus, seriously. Every day, obviously I get older and older. Rage, the first record, and then the Evil Empire and Battle of Los Angeles, all three, you can't go wrong. If you know what Rage is about, then, you know, you can't go wrong. And the covers one, Renegades, is also very good. A lot of great songs on that to sort of branch out and expand your horizons. Again, these things I'm going through right now are all like 85 to 95. So I want to keep it to that decade there. Because that obviously is where I started buying new things on my own and yada yada. Again, much like the Misfits, this came out in that ball period, I think 1990 for the first one and 91 for the second one. Ramones, all the stuff and more, volumes 1 and 2, which really gives you a terrific overview of what the Ramones are about, obviously. Ow! Rev, the Reverend Horton Heat, this is 93? Yes. Full custom gospel sounds. This first record I got, obviously, heard him before with, Psychobilly Freakout, but this is the first one I got and really listened to, and I went backwards and went forwards. Rollins Band, Wait. The one before this is really good, but the reason I like this is because the band really, I forget who the bassist before was, but the bassist on this is Melvin Gibbs, and on the one after this, which is called, I forget what it was called, but he's on that too. And the band themselves are so great, and then after that record didn't really get any traction, Rollins fired them, and I think easily the weakest link in this band is Rollins himself. These guys are so good. Chris Haskett, Melvin Gibbs, and Sim Kane on drums, and just very good. Good band. Sonic Youth, obviously, is probably the Sonic Youth record to go with, Daydream Nation. Again, there are more records from this period of time. I keep thinking about things that I want to throw in, but I'm just quick thing today with all these things. Again, all of these songs, Teenage Riot, Silver Rocket, obviously, Providence, it's all good. This is probably I don't know if it's the most accessible, maybe the stuff in the earlier 90s, Jet Set, Trash and No Star, maybe might be more easily accessible, but this is probably the best example of Sonic Youth. Blah, blah, blah. The record that got me to get into jazz, this is Mike Stern, 1992, Standards and Other Songs, especially the Nardis, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, but my pronunciation is for Sheboygan Meats, because I read, I don't talk to people. My whole life growing up, people look at me like I'm an idiot with my musical taste because, I don't know, for some reason the people I've been close friends with have very dissimilar musical tastes, and the people who I've met who have similar musical tastes, we never get along, really. Anyway, that one was written by Miles, but he never played it. I think it was written originally for Cannonball Adderley with Bill Evans on piano, and then Bill Evans sort of made his song. And Mike Stern did a great job with that, and obviously a lot of other good songs on here, like Someone in Love, yada yada. This whole thing is really what got me to push onward into jazz as I got into college. Therapy, Northern Ireland band. What is this? 93. This was like this is their big breakout. The first one, Knives, Scream Major. The second one, second song. Really good songs, sort of pop, not pop punk, because it's not pop punk, but it's that sort of vein, but harder, heavier, darker. Very good. The stuff before is, again, a little noisier. The one after this, which, oh god, is it called Infernal Love? I believe it's called. Is very good also. They went on to have, I think their records may have gotten better for a while there. A lot of good stuff in the later 90s they had. Anyway, very good. Another one of my favorites, New York, Brooklyn, Red Hook, Typo Negative, Pete Steele, and, Kenny and the whole frickin' band. Very good. Don't mistake lack of talent for genius. I assume the first one I heard, this is 93, was either Christian Woman or Black Number One. And, I got this, and then I got Origin of the Feces, and then the first one, and it's just all of those songs, and then obviously I got all the things after when they came out, and they're all fabulous songs. And they have they're one of those bands that has a good Therapy had a good best of that came out around 2000 2001, and they also, that was called So Much for the 10-Year Plan, and they had a best of about the same time called The Least Worst Of, also very good. Another band I listened to for as far as I can remember, the first record tape was my mother's copy of Under a Blood Red Sky, which I don't know what year that came out. But it had a lot of their classic early songs. U2, Auction Baby, again, everybody was very popular. Rattle and Hum and the one before that, Joshua Tree, were very popular. The back half of Rattle and Hum is not Rattle and Hum, the other one. The back half of Joshua Tree is pretty dark and creepy and good. But for some reason, Rattle and Hum's less endearing to me, especially as time's marched on. When this came out, really, I think they reinvented themselves in a really good way. You can really hear a lot of the influences of like Sonic Youth and KMFDM, and it's good. You know, obviously everybody knows the big songs of this, but it's very good. VU obviously was late '60s, early '70s, Velvet Underground. But this, they reformed the classic lineup of Lou Reed, John Cale, Moe Tucker, and Sterling Morrison. And this was in '93. This is a double CD, and it's basically all the big VU songs, and just from '92 or '93, whenever this was. What does it say? '93. So I guess it was recorded and released in '93. And it was just really, really a fabulous collection of things, and the performances are great. And it just, you know, it's them in 1993, so it doesn't have any of that. You know, obviously the original records are really great, but definitely of the time and place. Whereas this is sort of more universal. My first Voivod record. This got me into them. This was '93. Yeah, part of their trilogy, I guess, of MCA records. This was the third one, and I went back. Was Angel Rat, and then what was the one before? Was Nothing Face that, or was, wow, my memory is right out the door. I guess it was. Wow, if I'm wrong, hit me. Anyway, this really grabbed me. Piggy's guitar playing and the songwriting was just fabulous. You know, it's prog, it's metal, but it's also very poppy, especially on these three records. When you go back to like the first few records, it's very thrash, but like prog thrash. I mean, even proggier than most thrash was. There is a 17.5-minute long song on here called Jack Lunas, which is very good. I mean, the transitions, the whole thing, never feels like 17 minutes. It's just sci-fi dystopia sort of thing. It's fun, great if you're into that sort of thing. Last thing for today, or for the moment, maybe I'll do more. Tom Waits. The first one I got on cassette, Bone Machine. Hello. What was this, 92? And, obviously I'd known about Tom Waits before this, but, when I first got this and listened to this, it really blew me away. And obviously you have, I'm pretty sure Les Claypool's on a few of these, but a guy who's on a couple also, Joe Gore, who used to write and edit for Guitar Player. I think he's with Premier Guitar now. He was a big influence both in the stuff he wrote in the magazines, but also he was on this. He was with Les Claypool, he was with PJ Harvey, and he was just sort of off the wall and did a lot of great stuff. And he's making fuzz boxes, not just fuzz, pedals. He's making pedals now, and they're apparently very good. I don't have any. I have enough pedals probably to last till the end of time. This is great. Oh, Jesus, Mary Joseph. Hello. Still, Tom Waits, I wanted to add a little more. This is 85. So this is probably the one before this is where he started getting a little weirder than he was beforehand. But this is the one where he really is fabulously weird. This is Rain Dogs, 1985, from when he was in New York and with Mark Ribot on guitar. And Mark Ribot is another one of those guys who's just a huge influence. This has Singapore, Clap Hands, Jockey Full of Bourbon, Tango Till They're Sore. It just goes on and on. And really enjoy this. There's a lot of other stuff to talk about, especially if we branch into things that happened outside of 85 and 95. Still plenty of stuff in between 85 and 95, actually, now that I think about it.